This spire built on the top of Burj Khalifa looks very small, nor is the public allowed to go here. Nor are the floors in it very accessible, but it has so much importance in Burj Khalifa that if it is not there, the entire building would be. The strength of the could be in jeopardy. It was the compulsion of the engineering team to make it, and it was very important to complete this task no matter what. The height of this spire is not less than a scrapper. There is no such big skyscraper in more than half of the countries of the world. If this entire spire is removed, the height of Burj Khalifa will be reduced by 30% to only 585 meters. This is the height where the last 154th floor open to the public is located. The spire starts above it and ends at the tip of the Burj Khalifa. One will be surprised that these floors are not habitable at all because the entire spire keeps moving up to 6 feet during strong winds. The location of Dubai is such that on one side is the Arabian Gulf and on the other is the Gulf of Oman. Strong sea breezes are destined to suppress, and at the top of Burj Khalifa the gusts easily reach at 240 kilometers. This spire absorbs the pressure of these winds. It itself moves up to 6 feet and keeps safe 154 floors below it. American structural engineer William Baker was the first to create a design for the Burj Khalifa that does not block the wind but literally confuses it. Energy is generated when strong winds strike the structure. This energy must come from somewhere. The 154 floors of Burj Khalifa are connected to a main buttress core. If this energy goes into the main core, cracks can also be read in the concrete. That's why the spire is not connected to the buttress core, but it is connected to the steel structure. As you know, steel is a flexible metal. The energy generated by the wind is released into the steel structure of the spire, causing the top of the Burj Khalifa to vibrate. Not only does this single sacrifice, but this device on the spire also protects the entire pressure from dangerous lightning. This device on the top of the tallest skyscraper in the world is a lightning arrestor. It has a small sensor that detects the active charge in the surrounding clouds, and the lightning arrestor generates its opposite charge to attract the lightning and then conducts the charge of hundreds of millions of volts into the ground through steel wire, safely protecting the entire building. Because this lightning arrestor on the spire is at the top compared to the rest of the buildings, that is why it is not only brush protects the caliph, rather the entire press, from hundreds of millions of volts of current. So far, this lightning arrestor has performed its job perfectly 16 to 20 times. As you know, pressure has been coming in the wake of cyclones and strong winds that reach hundreds of kilometers per hour on the ground. Such strong winds are a big problem for tall skyscrapers. The only 279-meter tall Citigroup Center in Midtown Manhattan near New York City. After construction in 1978, a major engineering flaw was caught in its design. An engineering student at Princeton University noticed that the Citigroup Center would not be able to withstand the load of high winds. Only 25% of the gusts could easily cover the Citigroup Center. When this flaw reached the designer of the building, he immediately made some calculations and agreed with the engineering student. It is said that, keeping this matter a secret, extra dampers were added in the name of maintenance in the building, and this was not disclosed for many years. Also known as vortices, vortices are pockets of low air pressure that move the building sideways. Once the building begins to move even slightly, these vortices greatly increase the motion. The most perfect example of this is the swing in the park, which you all must have swung at one time or another. While swinging, if we shake our legs with the rhythm of the swing automatically accelerates because we are moving our legs with the frequency of the swing. This phenomenon is called resonance. In this case, the structural engineer William Baker created a design that confuses the wind itself. It is different because of when the wind hits the Burj Khalifa, so the rotors or vortices generated behind each floor are also different from each other. In other words, their party identity does not match with Tower's party identity. This is why the tallest building in the world has defied the winds and stood intact for the past 13 years. During the construction of Burj Khalifa, because when the construction of Burj Khalifa started in 2003, the construction of Taipei 101 in Taiwan was in its final phase. It was intended, but later thought, that the world record of 530 meters, but also by Amar Properties to ultimately confuse the world, was reported in 2003 as Burj Dubai, the original name of the Burj Khalifa, to be 530 meters tall. As reported in 2004, it will now be built up to 570 meters. Other projects taller than Taipei 101 proposed during the construction of Burj Khalifa have never been able to claim the title of world tallest building. Due to these unpredictable variations of Burj Khalifa, Emaar Properties, who had initially proposed the project, faced financial problems as the budget they had set was running out as the height increased. It reached that the construction of the Burj Khalifa had to be stopped. Then the Abu Dhabi dollar Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan funded the project and revived it. In the race to do, several projects were announced and construction started, but there is still no hope that this title will be snatched from the press. The construction of Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower has been stalled for the past several years. Even Nickel Properties had launched a project in Dubai called Nickel Tower, whose height was said to be more than 1,000 meters. Its construction also started in 2009, but the project was stopped the very next year. A total of $1.5 billion was spent on Burj Khalifa, which is about 12,300 crore rupees. Today, 8,000 to 10,000 tourists visit Burj Khalifa every day. Car is earning more than $1 billion. And because of this, there is no account of the economic boom that came to Dubai. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you very much for your kind comments. Meet you in the next wonderful video.